Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. We are getting into March. Earnings season, the heart of earnings season is well past us, but still, I'd say pretty much like every day, there's at least a couple interesting names. Um, got some retailers, some software names, so it's kind of like the mix that we can expect the next few weeks. But it does definitely slow down a little bit. So before the open on Monday, Sienna about 6 points is what's priced in. Had a big move on its last report, which was here. Well off that high, no surprise. There've been a couple good quarters already in the networking names, so that should be, I guess, somewhat of a decent read through to Sienna. Though they can surprise occasionally. I'm not sure how much of a move to expect in this environment, so I don't think I'm going to be in that one. After the close on Monday, nothing of interest. Before the open on Tuesday, really only one name, Dick's, priced in about 14 points. There's a lot. It's the last of the sporting goods retailers to report, so I don't think there's going to be a ton of uncertainty there. They raised guidance earlier this year too, so I'm thinking it could be slightly less volatile quarter for Dick's. But maybe it's something I look at post earnings for a trade if it can resolve this range, if it can get above like 120 or if it breaks below 100, maybe something to look at. After the close on Tuesday, MongoDB about 48 to 49 points. What's priced in here? Software stock jumped really sharply the last two quarters, but now it's almost 50% off its high. Tough, tough, tough environment for high growth, expensive software stocks. So they're really going to need to deliver again to probably prevent even more of a slide. Um, I don't think I'm going to have options on this, as it seems kind of expensive considering movement on these names this quarter. But if it keeps sliding and keeps getting hit the next 2 days and it's down even further, maybe it sets up maybe more of like a snapback move, maybe. Stitch Fix about 2.5 points is what's priced in. I mean, this thing hasn't had an uptick in months. It's around $11 now. Seems like any big turnaround is going to start with earnings, but these are really hard patterns lately to get big pops out of. Option pricing is not too crazy, but there just might not be a ton of room on the downside. So like any strategy would revolve around being skewed bullish, and I don't know if that's something I want to deal with right here. Bumble 375 is what's expected. Those are monthly options though. It's been sliding for a few months, really accelerating to the downside. I mean, match wasn't very good. Last quarter wasn't very good on Bumble. Maybe expectations are low enough where it could, maybe get a little bit of a snapback if the numbers are solid, maybe. But I mean that's really like the only thing I could think of because the stock acts awful going into earnings and I mean last quarter wasn't great, match wasn't very good, so it seems like a tough setup. Before the open on Wednesday, Campbell's Soup. I don't normally look at this. The price is about 2.5 points. I guess there's two things. So there's been some staples moving around lately on earnings, and also I'm really curious to see what they say about inflation and aluminum prices because aluminum's really been rallying, and Campbell Soup obviously has exposure to aluminum, so it might be kind of a lotto type idea for me. Oatly, about $1.65 is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. Another broken chart. Really needs some good news. I doubt I'll be in this, but it's another chart that just needs to really break the trend to be back in play because I mean we've seen so many of these setups where stocks are just riding moving averages lower and earnings just really fail to help them turn around. After the close on Wednesday, a couple software names. Asana, it's pricing about 10.5 points. Those are monthly options. High growth, expensive software company. It was rocked last quarter. The numbers haven't been bad. It's just the valuation got ahead of itself. So the lower it drops, the more it may set up more of a snapback bounce if they can deliver. But the options aren't cheap, so probably need to get risk down on it. And then CrowdStrike pricing at about 22 points. So this one should be interesting. Definitely one of the more high-profile cybersecurity stocks out there, and it's been hit hard the last few months. Caught a bit recently with the Russia-Ukraine invasion. But earnings are they're going to be important. I mean, I wish the options were priced a little bit lower, but that's the story of so many stocks this quarter. Options are priced high. It seems like it could set up well for volatility strategy, and I guess that's assuming it doesn't have a huge move the first 3 days of the week. I mean, if it's somewhere around here, seems like it's kind of room to the back to the low, or room back to where it was just a couple days ago. But we'll have to see where it is on Wednesday. For the open on Thursday, JD, so about 625 is what's priced in. Baba didn't have a very good report, so we'll see what JD has to say. If it's weak too, I mean, the huge focus level is going to be around the 60 area, because if it breaks that, it could play catch up to Baba and PDD, where they're both at like multi-year lows. Portillo's about 4 points. What's priced in here? Recent IPO. It's not a great environment for expensive new IPOs, and I guess Portillo's fell into that category when it first came out. I mean, maybe a little bit better setup down in the 20s versus when it was in the 40s to 50s. But I haven't had much luck trading restaurant stocks this quarter, so I don't think I'm going to play Portillo's. After the close on Thursday, so DocuSign, about 20 and a half points is what's priced in. Definitely an interesting one. I mean, it was absolutely crushed. It was one of the biggest moves last quarter. Hasn't had a bounce. Right, right, right at its low going in here. Option pricing's pretty high, but it does seem like it's due for a move. Maybe the risk reward is a little bit more skewed to the upside, but I mean, I feel like I'd really have to get risk down on both sides for any trade to make sense to me. Oracle, so about 6.5 points is what's priced in. I'm really curious to see how this one plays out. It's been hammered since they announced the Cerner deal, and it's not gotten any of the value stock love. It has had some big moves around earnings too over the past year, and option pricing may actually leave some room. So I might potentially look at a volatility strategy on this depending on how the week goes. Rivian, so about 9 points is what's priced in. Probably won't be an earnings play for me just because of the recent drama around raising prices this week, but definitely something I'm going to be watching that day. They're going to need some good news though to really stop the slide because the momentum is definitely on the downside. And then lastly, Ulta, about 33 points is what's expected. Relatively tight chart, has a history of moving on earnings, seems due for a move too. So option pricing isn't cheap, but there have been some quarters where this has moved 10 to 20%. So it's not totally out of the question. Um, Maybe late in the week, kind of like speculative one for me. Maybe go a little bit further on the money and see if it has like one of those giant moves that it's occasionally done in the past. And then Friday, nothing of interest. So that's it. So you can see, I mean, definitely still some big names out there. Not as busy every single day, but still plenty of companies do report that could move, should move, and hopefully do move. So we'll see. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay well, and I will talk to you on Monday.